Hi, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. We are on the sunny and windy shores of Orange County, California. We're just a short hop away from Anaheim, home of the 107th Annual American Farm Bureau Federation Convention. More than 60 Louisiana farmers and leaders made the trip out to California to advocate for better policies, to get some questions answered, and to compete on the national stage. American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall underscored the struggles facing agriculture in 2026 and advocated for the public to have a better understanding of what farmers do.
We lost 160,000 farmers since 2017, and it has not done anything but get worse. So my observation can tell me nothing other than it's going to get worse, and we're going to see more and more people either leave the business, sell out and put their land into development or other uses that land won't ever come back to agriculture. And we're talking about the security of our nation, being able to feed ourselves. I think we're at a critical stage that people have to understand that whatever we do, whether it's really good trade treaties, whether it's more domestic use, whatever that might be, we got to find a way to secure agriculture for the future.
Those words from President Duvall set the stage for discussion at this year's American Farm Bureau Convention. In what may have been an historic first, the chairman of the House and Senate Ag Committees were on stage with the ranking members of those committees sitting shoulder to shoulder to discuss agriculture. Now, also, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins had some hopeful news for crawfish and rice farmers. United States Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins takes the stage at the 107th Annual American Farm Bureau Convention in Anaheim, California. During her 29-minute speech, Rollins spoke of the importance of trade and putting America first. Louisiana Farm Bureau President Richard Fontenot was in the audience and heard that message loud and clear.
We shared the stories of Louisiana in particular as it relates to seafood, crawfish, shrimp, and rice, where those unfair trade partners are really jumping in some of our markets and creating some problems. This administration has hurt us. We visited with the USTR Representative Greer and the administration and Secretary on many occasions, and it's really refreshing to hear them articulate that message back to us. That means they hurt us, and that means they're going to do things to make a difference for our Louisiana producers.
In a news conference following her speech, Secretary Rollins expressed her desire to address President Fontenot's concerns about foreign dumping of rice, crawfish, and seafood into the U.S. market.
For me, that's fighting for our farmers and our ranchers and those who are affected by this terrible policy. So for our friends in the shrimping and oyster and crawfish business and the rice business, we hear you. We have already made a few announcements, but we have a lot more coming that I think is going to be extremely beneficial.
In another session at the convention, history was made. For the first time at an American Farm Bureau convention, the chairs of the House and Senate Agriculture Committees sat shoulder to shoulder with the ranking members of those committees. Republican Senator John Bozeman, Ranking Member Democrat Senator Amy Klobuchar, Republican Representative G.T. Thompson, and Ranking Member Democrat Angie Craig joined American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall for a roundtable discussion about the challenges facing agriculture. After getting off the stage, House Ag Committee Chairman Thompson said the Farmer Bridge Assistance Program from the USDA was a good start to addressing those challenges.
I just believe we need more. Now, I am really looking and trying to solicit feedback from the commodity groups in terms of what that first $11 billion, how far that goes, build on top of the $10 billion that we rolled out a year ago, and to see if they're satisfied with that. But I can tell you for sure, we need more for specialty crops, which includes sugar.
According to the USDA, there is only $1 billion set aside for specialty crops, which, as Chairman Thompson mentioned, includes sugar. That's a vital crop for Louisiana because of sugarcane, but it's also vital to Ranking Member Craig, whose district borders sugar beet growing areas in Minnesota.
I think it's absolutely critical that we include sugar beets at a substantial level for what they've suffered this harvest season in an additional farm relief bill. And they're not the only ones who need additional assistance. It's estimated that the farmers have lost about $50 billion in revenue, and of course, the administration offered them 12. Congress needs to do more.
To that end, Senator Bozeman says he wants to see Congress draft a new farm bill and bring it before his committee for a vote.
I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but we're going to vote on it before then and really put people where they're at. And these are important programs for farmers. And so, if you don't want to vote on increasing credit limits and things like that, fine. But we are going to make it such that you're going to have to declare that you're against it or for it or whatever.
The struggles of farming highlight one of the biggest concerns in agriculture: mental health. That's why every year AFBF hosts a panel to discuss the best way for people to feel safe and welcome to talk about their challenges. In this year's forum, California grape farmer Tara Beaver Coronado talked about her own mental health struggles. She says too many people feel isolated and worried that no one will be able to relate. She says once she finally spoke up, she felt a huge weight lifted.
And I don't remember the exact moment when I decided I wanted to start sharing, but I do remember that the instant I started sharing, I realized I was not alone and that other people do feel this way and that we have to talk about it.
If you're struggling or if you think someone else might be, you can call 988 to get resources for yourself or for others. Something else that can be uncomfortable for farmers to take on is to take to social media and share their story. Arizona farmer Jonathan Dinsmore began telling his story on TikTok in his lush fields of leafy lettuce. He says early followers thought his background was fake and that he was standing in front of a green screen. So he took on the name The Green Screen Farmer. Dinsmore spoke at a special workshop designed to teach farmers and ranchers how to engage with the general public about agriculture. After getting more than 300 million views on his videos and thousands of followers, both on TikTok and Instagram, Dinsmore says consumers want to know where their food comes from and who is growing it. He hopes the people in this audience got that message.
I would be honored if people would leave inspired and encouraged to just share who they are. Their story is valuable and it's important, but they're really their message. The story starts with them, and being able to embrace who they are and how to share that is really the best way to convey that.
If you would like to follow Dinsmore online, he's at The Farmer John on social media. We'll also put some links on our website at twilatv.org. The 2026 convention is being held in Anaheim, which is of course famous for Disneyland. However, when the county split off from Los Angeles, it was named for its biggest economic driver, oranges and agriculture. TWILA's Neil Melanson shows us that even as rapid urbanization has taken place, ag still has its place here.
The saying all the old-timers in California have is, it all used to be orange groves. Here at the American Farm Bureau Convention in Anaheim, right next door is Disneyland, and as you can see when it was built, it was right in the middle of them. In fact, Orange County is named after the fruit, highlighting the importance of ag to this state.
If you're looking for your strawberries, your watermelons, your artichokes, your asparagus, your fruit and tree crops and nut crops, the vast majority of that is coming from California farms.
Most people think about California in terms of big cities and big movie stars, but California as a whole has an outsized impact on the food we eat.
Over 50% of the fresh fruits and vegetables in this country are grown right here in California, and we're very proud of that. And when we look at our other top crops, the dairy, cattle and calves, grapes and wine, we're blessed to be able to feed not only America, but the rest of the world.
However, it's hard to find orange groves in Orange County anymore. Anderson says that's due to a combination of factors that sound familiar to anyone in a rural area in the U.S.
The primary drivers of that were there was a disease called quick decline that really impacted citrus trees in particular. And while at the same time the county was undergoing very rapid urbanization and post-World War growth, there was an oil strike which led to an oil boom.
California also leads the country in regulation.
We helped commission a study with Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and they looked at the impact of those regulatory costs over a 20-year period, and they found that the increase in that time frame was nearly 1,400% in that 20 years. And that comes out to a per dollar value per acre of about $1,600. That's what it costs in California just to be regulatory compliant, is $1,600, and we didn't have that cost just 20 years ago.
Disneyland is still the happiest place on earth, and California still has abundance, which is why it's so important to advocate for ag, Anderson says.
And it's so important that I think more people know that so that we can all collectively kind of do a better job at supporting our farmers, obviously not just in California, but nationwide. Because if we don't have a reliable food supply for Americans, then man, we're really kind of going to get into a tight spot.
Reporting from Anaheim, I'm Neil Malasaw.
In the heart of Orange County, surrounded by residential neighborhoods, you'll find the South Coast Research and Extension Center. TWILA's Carl Wiggers visited this beautiful living laboratory to see how its researchers are working to make life better in communities across California and beyond.
This is where better Southern California landscapes begin. Research happening in these plots and containers are helping with soil health, water usage, landscape plants, and urban agriculture practices that will affect homes right across the road and around the world. Dr. Lindsay Peteroncelli is the interim director here and is proud of the wide range of work that happens here at South Coast Research and Extension Center.
We are about 200 acres right here in the heart of Orange County, and we like to call ourselves a living laboratory because we really are an outdoor lab. The majority of our acreage is covered by avocados, so there's a lot of avocado research going on. We have a really rich history of strawberry research, and today we do a lot of research and outreach that's focused on urban agriculture and urban landscapes.
Dr. Natalie Levy is a soil health advisor with South Coast Rec. She got her master's and doctorate degrees at LSU. It was there she developed a love for the extension work she now does with the general public because she says farmers are more proactive in seeking out their research.
Our farmers are very engaged. They tend to seek information, and we have our LSU Ag Center, we have other like UCA&R here in California, we have Cooperative Extension, we have the Farm Bureau. There are a lot of resources that are available to that clientele group, and they are also, they go and seek information in a way that other populations don't.
Levy spends a lot of her time educating homeowners about ways to improve their soil health, decrease water usage, and increase the use of organic matter on their property. Now, while she is doing that, Grant Johnson is working to help the community with urban agriculture. He says that can cover a really wide range of techniques.
Backyard chickens to community gardens, all the way up to a controlled environment agriculture, so very high-tech vertical farming, hydroponic growing methods.
Levy and Johnson both love the extension aspect of this job, sharing their research and tools with residents to help create better communities and spark an interest in agriculture.
Just turning on that excitement and lighting that interest. And so I love that I get to do that and reach out to groups that maybe are they've heard about it, but they need more information and more guidance.
You can still grow food in the ground. You can talk about soil health and soil texture, and but there's also ways of growing food that's exciting and different. And it can really tap into people's potential with, a lot of young students are into technology, into computers. And I like to remind people that agriculture is also a great environment for engineers, for computer scientists, for a lot of different degrees that you don't traditionally think about.
Reporting in Orange County, California, I'm Carl Wiggers for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
One of California's biggest exports is grapes, especially the fermented kind. There are nearly 5,000 wineries spread across the Golden State, each producing a handful of varieties of Pinots, Cabernets, and Chardonnays. TWILA's Josh Meeks visited a family-owned winery and vineyard to see how they stand out against the larger operations.
Temecula is wine country here in California, and at Wilson Creek Winery, wine isn't alcohol, it's food. And that's just one of the many principles that they follow that they say sets them apart from other vineyards.
You wouldn't know it by the rolling green hills and lush grapevines, but the city of Temecula sits at the edge of the Southern California desert. Surprisingly, that's a perfect place for a vineyard.
Grapes evolved in what's now modern-day Iraq and Iran. Grapes like it hot and they like it sandy. And it is hot and it is sandy here.
Greg Pennyroyal is the vineyard manager. He knows a lot about the biological science behind growing good grapes. He's helped to transition the vineyard to a regenerative agricultural operation to both have a better product and to be better stewards of the land.
6-8 years ago, no one knew that term.
Right.
We didn't know what we were doing, nor did anyone else. So we started small, and we did it on what's called Block 9. Now, Block 9 produces, quite frankly, our best cab because we've applied those principles. And as we've seen those principles work, we are expanding that to the entire vineyard. So now everything that we farm in the home block is farmed regeneratively because it produces better wine, and it's just the right thing to do.
The winery opened in the year 2000 when brothers Bill and MC Wilson set out to start an agricultural business.
I did convince my entire family to quit their jobs, sell their homes, and go into business together, which we had no idea about. It was kind of in our roots, but yet, we never did it. We just jumped in full faith, and we did it to be part of a family.
You'll hear the word family a lot at Wilson Creek. It's the core of their agritourism business. There's no admission to the grounds, and they regularly offer tours just like this to tout their regenerative agriculture business.
Temecula is fortunate because we don't have a lot of corporate sort of wineries here. It's also a great community of winemakers. We help each other out.
At the end of the day, this is what it's all about, bringing people together. Wilson says wine is misunderstood as a rich man's sport, but that couldn't be further from the truth, and he wouldn't have it any other way.
We care that somebody comes here, spends their money with us, and leaves with a positive experience. That's a win for us.
Reporting from Temecula for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Josh Meeks.
Still to come on TWILA, are you smarter than a fifth grader? We'll find out if some folks are in our TWILA Boost. But first, Louisiana Innovation for the Win. How a Baton Rouge AI startup just earned $100,000 in seed money. Next.
You're watching This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week.
Young farmers and ranchers are classified as men and women involved in agriculture between the ages of 18 and 35. Louisiana brought a strong contingent of young farmers and ranchers, something that made Louisiana Farm Bureau President Richard Fontenot very happy.
Louisiana definitely had two contestants here that blew it out the water as far as I'm concerned. They did a fantastic job both in the Excellence in Ag and Discussion Meat contest. They really highlighted some of the opportunities we have in Louisiana, but they shared their stories and their vision, and they did a fabulous job representing Louisiana here.
Some of Louisiana's best and brightest young farmers and ranchers competed in dedicated events aimed to test their knowledge, skills, and innovations. Ag teacher Randy Lynn Toops of Lafourche Parish competed in the Excellence in Ag competition. The event challenges young farmers and ranchers to present an understanding of agricultural issues, show off leadership skills, and communicate their story. Abigail Davis of St. Tammany Parish competed in the Discussion Meet, which is an open forum where young farmers and ranchers discuss agricultural ideas and challenges. A deep knowledge of farming across the country is vital when taking this stage. Ascension Parish sugarcane farmers Frankie and Mallory Sotil represented Louisiana in the Achievement Award competition. Entrants must show excellence in farm management, growth, and self-initiative. Louisiana also had a strong showing at the Ag Innovation Challenge, where entrepreneurs competed for a six-figure award. The LSU students who launched Farm Mind won this year's prize.
Our 2026 Ag Innovation Challenge champion is FarmMind.org from Louisiana, represented by Colin Raby and Aaron Beatty.
We really appreciate the Farm Bureau for all of their help and all of the exposure, and we really want to bring this technology in the hands of every single farmer, and this prize is going to help us do that.
We think that this technology, the way it's going, AI tech and these overall management platforms, they're going to have such power to bring efficiency and effectiveness to agriculture, and we think that the system that folks should be used should be made in America, run in America, and serve the American farmer. It's been said about 100 times at this conference that our food security is our national security, and if we get this right and continue to get these tools out to farmers, we're only going to be strengthening the American farmer, which will serve our entire nation, and we just love that. That's our whole reason for being here, and we love the fact that we've been able to grow it out of Louisiana.
They've got a product that's not going to be just a Louisiana product, a national product. This really has international potential, total agricultural potential also too, not just a row crop operation. It's going to reach animal, livestock operations. These guys are trying to help everybody.
Still to come on TWILA, what is the capital of California? You have 2 minutes to Google it, but the people you'll see right after the break did not have that luxury. The TWILA Boost is next. Time now for this week's TWILA Boost, and since we're here in California where it's so beautiful, we asked some of our Louisiana volunteers how much they know about the Golden State.
What is the capital of California?
San Francisco.
Anaheim.
Got a 5th grade social studies. San Diego.
Is it San Luis Obispo?
Los Angeles.
I feel like I should know that. I don't remember.
Guesses?
Los Angeles.
No.
Is it Sacramento?
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Ooh, Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Sacramento. It's Sacramento.
That's a good question.
Sacramento.
Leave it to the teacher to know that.
What is California's top commodity?
Ooh, is it citrus?
Oranges.
Marijuana.
Corn.
Rice.
Tomatoes. Vegetables.
Nursery.
Produce.
Cattle.
Grapes. I thought it was fruits and vegetables.
Cotton.
Almonds. Is it almonds?
Grapes.
Vegetables. Avocados.
Is it
Dairy farms?
Dairy.
Disneyland is home to what princess's castle?
Snow White.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Disneyland is home to what princess's castle?
Tinkerbell.
Are they the same? I know Disney World is Cinderella.
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 Princess Scott Bickle.
Cinderella.
Cinderella.
I don't think it's Cinderella, but I'll go Cinderella.
Elsa. Let's go with Elsa.
Only princess I know, you got Cinderella, you got Jasmine from over there at Cinderella's castle. Sleeping Beauty, I guess. Is that who we're looking for?
What percentage of the world's almonds are grown in California?
I don't know, but it's big.
100. 70%.
Oh, like 90%. 70%.
90%.
50. 90%. 70.
75.
Maybe 90%.
90.
95%.
70%.
78%.
80.
I would say 80.
80.
This is the blank convention of the American Farm Bureau.
105th.
105.
108.
110.
112th.
112th.
115.
107. Jamie is the winner.
Leave it to school teacher Jamie Lee. Well, that does it for this edition of TWILA. Be sure to join us next week when we'll be back at home in our studio without the sand, without the sun, without the waves, but we'll be home, right? It'll be for our first show in 2026. Until then, you can watch all of our stories online at twilatv.org. Be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok and Instagram. You can also find all of these stories and more on our YouTube channel. Be sure to like us, subscribe, turn on those notifications, that way you know when something new is put out there. For all of us here at TWILA, thank you for joining us. We're going to go enjoy some sun, some surf, and we'll see you right here next week.